Dick Tracy started off as a comic series in 1931 created by Chester Gould. I really love the artwork and what it pulls out for a story, a detective stopping the latest scheme from his nemesis Big Boy. It looks really interesting to check out. Its popularity has skyrocketed in 1990 with the Warden Beatty film. When I first heard about this movie, I got curious and caught it on TV. That movie was awesome. It's basically a classic film noir with an all-star cast. Al Pacino, Dustin Hoffman, fucking Madonna, and even Dick Van Dyke is in the movie. The movie's popularity was short-lived at the time, but I had to say it's still entertaining for a Disney movie. During the success of the movie, the marketing campaign decided it'll be a great idea to turn it into a video game. So, what I'm going to take a look at is the NES version. This game was developed by Real Time Associates and was published by Bandai. Yeah, I know there is a Game Boy version out there, but let's just be honest, like I said before, I don't have much material to work with if I'm doing a portable version. So, without dicking around, let's just play some Dick Tracy. So by turning on the console, we have an awesome title screen with bullets spelling out Dick Tracy. Well, it's kind of like how it is in the trailer for this movie. Coincidence much? So by starting the game, we get our first mission. Your officer gives you orders to not shoot any unarmed men. Fine by me. So now we're in our office and we get our first clue. Fake $20 bill used near Steve the Tramp's flop house. So that's our first case. Someone making bogus money. So we get a look at our mugshot so we can find out where Steve the Tramp is at. 5th and B is where he's located. So let's hit the streets. First I have to get this out of the way is that the driving is bad in this game. But I did manage to press on. Turning off to the next lane is just a major pain. The car just snaps right at you into the right lane. Short term, the driving is a bit of a pain. But I do have to say Terminator 2 is still worse. So we get to 5th and B and the game changes to a side-scroller. Whoa, what the hell is up with Dick in this game? He looks like he has a bad suntan for some reason. Just a fluke, but I think he looks fine for this game. So in these segments we have two standard attacks. We can either use his fist or his handgun. Using a gun at an unarmed man will take a whole star from your life meter. I'm not joking. So you gotta be careful with this situation. As you progress through the game, you get to find some weapon upgrades like a power punch which knocks everyone all over the place. It's kinda like a pinball machine. Tear gas that can wipe everyone off screen. And my personal favorite weapon of all time. Tommy gun! Fuck yeah! So we get to Steve the Tramp, who obviously doesn't look like what he is in his mugshot, and we have a choice to either interrogate or arrest him. If you choose arrest, you just get scolded by your cop and not getting enough evidence to show, so you get yanked back to the police station and nothing happens. I didn't want to risk it, so I decided to interrogate him instead. Now, speaking of interrogating, who is Dick Tracy interrogating now for his current case? Subject name: Fuck Up to Schnozzle. Reason that he's the subject? Calling an angry video game nerd ripoff at Thomas the Retro Nerd, an underrated reviewer.
Yeah, I hate calling a retro nerd, and the angry video game ripoff. It's seriously hate it.
But what he is actually doing is just acting like a retard for the sake of having attention. That's what all internet trolls are.
I'm not a troll. I'll just tell the truth, you bastard. The truth. The truth.
Well, if you are a true slayer, so how much can you take pain?
As long as my hatred for Thomas the Retro Nerd lives, while overreaching for every angry video game ripoff, I will survive.
I think it's best bet we take this investigation to the source material. Off to the Retro Nerd's room! We all know him. He might solve it. What? So he says we have to go to the 9th and F pier. But once he say that, you better remember 9th and F because Dick here doesn't write it in his notepad. But it's better to write down your destination before pressing on. That's my option. So while traveling to your destination, there are two obstacles that we have to avoid on the road. First off is obviously cars in other lanes. And the most annoying fucking snipers. My advice, kill them. Kill every fucking sniper you find. Well, that's alright, because the best part is that after you kill them, they won't respawn anymore. So to continue the first case, we get to the 9th and F pier, and I found something annoying. Because of the lighting here, I found an invisible pit right off the bat. So we get our second clue on top of a crate. Footprints in puddle of spilled green ink. How can footprints get on top of a crate? I don't know. I just don't think that's possible. Well, that's a comic book world, so I don't care. Afterwards, we get a car chase shootout, then we interrogate Shoulders, I think. He says we have to go to the 4th and D warehouse. Again, Tracy doesn't even write it in his notepad. Shouldn't the clues be in a Ziploc bag and the destination point on the notepad? What other detective would do the same idiotic mistake like this? I just walked right into that one, didn't I? Yeah, Inspector Gadget would do such a thing like that, but seriously, it's just stupid. Damn, the fucking snipers got me! Game over? Are you shitting me? Yep, that's right. You get only one life and no continues. That I would call foul, but all I had to say is that this is a game that has trial and error like any other NES game from the past. And look at this! I lost my clue! I have to start from scratch? Yep. So I'm gonna get the clues, and after finding all of them, I found out that Numbers is the culprit. So I go to the mugshots and I found out where he's hiding, 8th and J. So we get to the location and it's swarming with bad guys. You have to put your A game to the test here. I almost forgot to talk about this. There's also first aid kits resembling hearts in this game. Using this is not like any other upgrades. Pressing select cycles throughout your inventory and pressing B activates them. But with the first aid kit, it pops up after the gun or the tear gas. When either appears, press and hold the select button and then press B. Well, you might be thinking, well, this might be so cryptic. Well, I should get upset about this too, but not really. My guess the developers are clever enough to program it this way because if you do, it'll be like every other weapon that you collected. That way you'll survive longer in this game. So I get to Numbers, I arrest him, and there we go. I solved the first case of the game.
Yeah, there's about 5 cases in this game, and what I just showed you, solving one case is not fucking impossible. The only way you think it's impossible is that if you're a whiny bastard that just complains for the sake of a laugh. Oh yeah, I just went there, and I'm not taking that back!
So Numbers is behind bars and we get a code for the second case. It might be a different case, but the concept is a bit of the same. Interrogate subjects, collecting clues, trying to survive, and arrest the culprit. For this one, it's like going in a circle. You start off by interrogating Lip's Manlips, and while you're getting the clues, it's revealed that it was Lips all along, talking about going all M. Night Shyamalan in this case. So after getting all 4 clues, yes, of course, 4 clues for the second case, we get back to Lips, and he's headed behind bars as well. Lather, rinse, repeat. It's about the same formula, but with more tricky puzzles to solve. But with enough care and patience, you'll manage to solve all 5 cases, put Big Boy in his place, and you beat the game.
So, that was Dick Tracy on NES, and it's kinda mediocre.
Yeah, it's not the grand piece of shit game that'll fuck your mind over. I say that this game is average. The graphics are pretty good for the time. The animation on the cutscenes are fascinating. This might be an early NES game that has this such of an effect. The controls might be stiff, but I did manage to get used to it with enough practice. The side-scrolling parts are interesting to play through. You can shoot diagonally in these sections, which I forgot to mention. That's fine. Also, all the weapons in this game are fun to use as well. Especially the Tommy gun. I love this weapon. Now, what about the music? There's only 4 tracks in this game, but I had to say it's catchy and enjoyable. So if you're a hardcore Dick Tracy fan, I would say check this one out for curiosity. I'm still not saying it's perfect, but it's still a bit fun to play with.
Now I know there's other Dick Tracy games besides the NES, and I will check them out in the future. There was one on Game Boy, which I mentioned before. Even Sega has some Dick Tracy games, one on Sega Master System and one on Sega Genesis. That's really cool. Even the old computer games from the 80s have some Dick Tracy games, like the Atari 800, the Amiga, and the Commodore 64. But to my advice, I would say never play any of the games from those home computer consoles. Why? Because I realized those games were made by them. Fucking Titus. I can never trust those guys. They made the first shitty game I ever played, Super Shit 69. And ever since then, I can never trust them. Even when I played Top Gun Firestorm on the Game Boy Advance, yeah, that was the game that introduced me to Top Gun and gradually hated in my childhood. So, all I'm saying is that, be careful, alright? I'm Thomas Retro Nerd. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys. What happened to the scenery? I didn't ask for this! Excuse me, are you Thomas Retro Nerd? Who the hell are you? I'm Dick Tracy, detective at law. And a master. I need your help to solve my current case. This is fuck up douche nozzle. Fuck you! This guy has been claiming that you are an AVG and ripoff. What, yes? Shut up! Anyway, I need your help to solve this case because you're the one that can clean this up. Alright, if you want to solve the case, I'll solve the case with you. So it comes to my conclusion that you are not an AVG and ripoff because you put more information in your videos, you talk more about the stuff in the games, and of course, you don't even talk about bullshit because you're a con collected nerd and you get forced to play shitty games because some evil forces don't like you. Well, if you put it that way, yeah, precisely. So that's the conclusion. Thomas the Retro Nerd is not an AVG and ripoff. Shows that Fuck Up Deuce Nozzle is just hating you for the sake of having attention.
No, he is a ripoff, and I say so. I'm from the internet. That makes me right.
God, what'll it take for you to shut up? May I? You have my permission.
Alright, you motherfucking piece of shit. I'm gonna teach you a lesson you'll never forget. What are you doing? No, put me down, put me down. No, not the window, not the window.
Well, glad I took care of him. Jesus. You really hate those trolls, don't you? Just like I said before, they're just complaining for the sake of complaining. They want to treat AVGN like he is a god. But I don't see any picture because all he does is review shitty games. And just because I review the same shitty games he did, does not count him an AVGN ripoff. Do you see him do more good games than shitty games? Would you see him do more modern games? I don't think so. But in character, no. But out of character, yes. But, whatever. The case is closed. Thank you, Dick Tracy. The door's right behind you. Have a good day.